Welcome to BomiChess. Today we're going to talk about the game between Praggnanandhaa and Carlsen. And Ramesh Babu Praggnanandhaa is Indian chess player, and he was a chess prodigy. He earned his Grandmaster title when he was only 12 years and 10 months old. And he won many international tournaments, he won many World Youth Championships, he was a junior champion of the world, and everybody was thinking that he is going to become next world champion. So he's not yet, but maybe one day. He's still young. And fun fact about him is that his sister is also a grandmaster. So they are very, very strong in their family. They both played in Chess Olympiad in 2024 and for India, and they won gold medals for their teams. So this game was played in 2024 against Magnus Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen doesn't need too much of intro. He is the strongest player in the world for the last 15 years. And he's also, even though he gave up his title a few years back, he is still the best player. He's number one. So okay, this game was played in 2024 in Norway Chess. And until that point, Pragg was never been able to win Magnus Carlsen in classical game. So let's see if it changes here, because this is classical game. So okay, Praggnanandhaa was white and Carlsen was black. So Pragg opens with e4, we have c5, so this is Sicilian defense, knight to f3, we have this pawn to e6, pawn to d4, pawn takes, knight takes, and we have this pawn to a6. Pragg plays this bishop to d3, queen to c7. So instead of this bishop to c5, but okay, Pragg plays this kingside castling. We have knight to f6 and queen to e2. And black here plays this pawn to d6. So he is occupying the squares in the center and also giving space for his for development of his pieces. Okay, white plays this pawn to c4. Also, he wants to take a strong hold of this d5 square, and he's also making space for his pieces to develop. So okay, knight goes to this d7 square, knight to c3, and here black goes on with his plan to play this knight to e5. Now he's attacking this bishop on the d3, and okay, white plays this pawn to h3. So he could gone right away for this f4. Asking question for this black knight is going to take this right away, and but he played this h3 probably because he wants to secure this square so that black knight is not able to come here if bishop wants to go to e3, for example. So okay, here black played this pawn to b6, trying to put his bishop on this long diagonal, and here white played f4. So now this knight needs to do something. He took the bishop on d3, queen takes, and here black plays this bishop on b7. And here white strikes with his pawn to f5. He wants to undermine this pawn. He wants to have the hold of this d5 square. And black doesn't like this idea of giving up this d5 square, so he plays queen to d7, which is not the best move because eventually we'll see that he will need to push this pawn forward anyway. So okay, bishop to g5, and we have this bishop to e7, is trying to do kingside castling as well. This king is right now in the center, not very good. So rook to d1. Good move, putting the rook on this half open line, and is x-raying this black queen. So here black does a similar job. He puts rook on c file and trying to put pressure on this c4 pawn. And here we have this good move, very good move by white, queen to e2. Now he is opening up this rook. So already here we have some tactics like pawn to e5, and this pawn is not allowed to retake because we have this tactic, knight to e6, and rook is attacking the queen. So black doesn't want that. He plays pawn to e5 himself, and here white decides to take this knight here. This knight was very strong. He was putting pressure on these squares and controlling this d5 square. So white doesn't mind giving up his bishop for the knight. So he took the knight, and black took the knight as well with the bishop. So now black has two bishops, but only one is good one. This light square bishop is good, but this dark square bishop is very bad. It's blocked by his own pawns. So here white retreats the knight because it was attacked by the pawn. And black plays this queen to c6, attacking the pawn twice. So okay, knight went to e3, defending this pawn with the knight and with the queen. And here black plays the bishop on g5. He wants to get rid of one knight, because this d5 square is very well controlled by both knights of the white. So white allows this knight to be taken. He plays king to h1. He could have gone for this knight to d5 right away, keeping the both knights. But okay, he went instead for this king to h1, and now we have this bishop takes knight on e3, queen takes, and this pawn, even though is not protected right now, if the queen leaves this square, this pawn is unprotected as well. So black plays first this f6. Doesn't want to allow white to play this move, because then it will open the king side, and a very bad position for black, because this king is right now in the middle of the board. So okay, white plays b3, now also protecting this pawn on c4, and we have b5. And here knight comes to this good d5 square. So black played queen to c5. He wanted to exchange the queens, but white said no. So white went queen to f3. And here we have this pawn takes on c4, and then we have this queen on h5. Check. So now this king is going to lose the right to castle. You cannot play g6 because white can simply take it, you cannot retake. So okay, king to f8, and here white put the rook on f3. Very good move. He is putting the rook on the third rank and protecting these squares. So here black took this knight on d5. This knight was very good piece, so he took it with the bishop, gave up the bishop for it, and now attacking the queen, and queen went to b6, and here white simply took this pawn on c4. Rook takes, and now this rook on the third rank goes to b3, attacking the queen and occupying this b file. Very important one. So black goes to b4, and here rook protects once more this rook on b3. Black takes, and white takes on b3. Still having the grasp on this b file. Black goes to c7, and here white finds the best move on the board. He plays queen to d1. So he retreats his queen, and now he's protecting this c1 square, so the black queen cannot come into play. And here black played this pawn to g6. So now, even though black has is a pawn up, his rook is stuck here. So before this move, this rook doesn't do anything in the game. So it looks like black is all pieced down. So okay, he played this pawn to g6, and now white goes on with b to b1, queen to b1. He wants to have this beautiful battery on the b file, and now this king is in a problem. If king tries to go here for example, he tries to take out the rook here, this is very bad, because now you can simply play rook to b7, and the queen is gone. So here black is in trouble, and black plays his queen on c5. And okay, so white took this 7th rank, and now this king is stuck on 8th rank, and this rook is stuck here in the corner. So black tries to avoid this by playing this takes on f5, and put the rook on g8 is probably his idea. And white first prepares this queen lift by playing king to h2. A very good move, because if the queen ever leaves this b1, black queen, if it comes to c1, it will not be a check. So white can continue with the attack. So first preparing move, king to h2, and now black played this rook to g8. He's trying to put rook on this half open line, and he wants to create some threat of his own, but let's see if it goes well. So first we have this queen to b3, and now white is threatening this checkmate in one move. So black needs to prevent this somehow. Black plays this pawn to d5, and now white plays this rook takes on h7. And here is also a threat, checkmate in one move. and this is very bad for black, so Magnus Carlsen decided to resign the game here. If you try to prevent this checkmate by playing queen, for example to c8, white can simply play queen to a3 check. And after this there is no awaiting checkmate, so here there's checkmate, and the only other move is queen here, and you're giving up your queen, and next move is going to be a checkmate. So this was today's game. Young Praggnanandhaa was able to win his first classical game against Magnus Carlsen, world number 1. In this tournament, Praggnanandhaa was eventually placed third, and Magnus Carlsen was first. So I hope that you liked today's game. Write down in the comments what you think about it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next game. Bye.